Tonya, tell me about the book and tell me why you wrote it.
Sure. Rebuilding life after trauma came about during my uh, healing period after being a victim and witness to a murder suicide. And they were dear friends of ours for more than 15 years of their 17 years of marriage. I know that they were going through their own challenges as a couple. He had recently, or my friend had recently announced they were separating and were headed, for divorce. And, I believe that she was already accepting that it was going that way, and he possibly was not. So I believe that he was struggling more. Actually did write letters to his friends and to family, and he did address that there were things within him mentally that he needed to work on, and that he wished that he had done those things. So it didn't say what they were, but he did realize there were some things going on with him. And, I remember him after he shot my friend and before he shot himself, he told me he was sorry. And I've always wondered why he told me he was sorry. I don't know why he did that, but I would have to, he was still processing a lot of things, but had already made up his mind that he was going to kill her and kill himself. And I just wasn't part of that plan, and he let me live. But I just think that he was still struggling with something mentally that he did not address. um, Someone, obviously that deals with suicide, some people think about it for long times and plan it out, and others are asking for help. And this situation, he had already made the decision that he was ready to end his life and her life.
So, what element from the book, in particular, when you think of about what's going on in this pandemic, that made you say, "Let me reintroduce this book. Let me bring this out again to help people."
I believe it's the mental health portion. We're seeing it not just in the schools, in our young people, but in adults as well. And it's not necessarily that it's brand new, it's just being exposed because of the situation that we have been placed in due to the pandemic. And I believe the effects of our mental health, it just goes through everything that we do. And so knowing that it's a traumatic experience for lots of people, I believe it's a great tool and resource for those who are looking and searching how to get through this traumatic experience that we're all facing right now. When we go through traumatic experiences or things that happen mentally where the brain is jolted, to me, it's like going through that earthquake. You, first of all, kind of survey the damage. Am I okay? Did something just happen? When we're shocked? And that's one of the chapters in the book. We have to kind of take a look at that first. And then the next thing we talk about is peeling back layers. And with mental health, we don't always want to address it because it has negative connotation. Something's wrong with you. And we don't always think of it as telling ourselves the truth about ourselves so that we know how to get through things. Well, so when I think about mental, I think about telling ourselves the truth about ourselves. I'm not good when this happens. We're products, but we see what we hear and what we experience, and that starts with our mental state. So thinking of mental health as, am I okay? Can I peel back the layers and be able to tell myself about myself so that I can be my best self? That's what I think about when I think about mental health.
I like that, being able to say that, look in the mirror, not deal with it as some form of denial.
Right.
What am I really dealing with? How am I responding? And understanding that when we're talking about pivoting, everybody, you hear that word all the time now. It's not just pivoting our schedules, it's pivoting our minds, and understanding of what we were capable of doing, we are no longer capable of doing, and it's okay. What can you share that from your book, or from your experiences, that says, hey, this is not the end?
When you look at the whole picture and see everything that's going on, it's too big to look at it that way. When you are rebuilding or wanting to see something new, look at one thing at a time. If you know someone dealing with mental health, or anyone that may be considering suicide or even domestic violence, uh, please reach out. There are 1-800 numbers available to get the help needed. I would say not to ignore it if you see the signs. If you see the signs, don't ignore it. It can save a life.